Why are you worried? Why are you stressing? The Bible says in Philippians chapter 4 verse 6 that be anxious for nothing. So do not worry about the smallest thing and do not worry about the biggest thing. God is saying be anxious for nothing. Don't worry about nothing, because worry doesn't do you any good. And when the Bible tells us not to do something, there's always a reason behind it. We are not supposed to do that as Christians. So as Christians, we are made in the image of God, and God spoke the world into existence. Our God is a creative God. And if you operate in the creative space, you realize that a lot of times you imagine things, you start thinking of, how you're going to put pieces together, what you're going to do, and then you then bring it to life. You make it visual. So a lot of the times you'd hear people say things like your imaginative space is like your creative ability. That's where you create stuff. It's the same as worry. So when you end up worrying and stressing over things, then you're kind of brewing that inside of you, and you are kind of crystallizing your greatest fear and trying to project it to bring it to life. So worry in itself is a spirit, and you can actually through your worry bring your deepest and greatest fear to existence. So God is saying, do not worry about anything. Flee from worry, like run away from worry. But instead, he's saying that with prayer and supplication and thanksgiving, make your request known to God. So it's saying that yes, God can see your stress. He can see the worry. He can see what is worrying you. He can see that situation. It may be that you're worried that you've lost your job, and because of that, you cannot pay your rent. So you're worried about the fact that if you need the money to pay the rent, you would not have it. Or you're worried about a diagnosis you've got where they've said, you've got this diagnosis, and you're worried about the worst case scenario. You're worried that you would not be able to feed your children. You're worried that somebody has made an allegation against you that is not true, and you don't know how you're going to defend yourself. You're just worried about the worst case scenario. What could, what if. God is saying, do not do no what if. Just come to me, go to the Father in prayer, communicate the issue with God. He's all seeing, all knowing. He already knows that situation, but out of respect, just go tell him about it. And that's where your faith comes in. You start to thank him for it in anticipation that you know that once you've told him and you believe it, he's got you. He's going to resolve the matter. He's going to step in and deal with it. So you thank him for it. And it says that the peace of God that surpasses all understanding would guard your heart. I'm going to talk more about that in the next video. But I just want you to know that do not give worry any space in your life, because worry breeds fear. And God has not given you a spirit of fear. He's given you a spirit of a sound mind. And that's what you have to operate within, a sound mind. And that happens when the peace of God that surpasses all understanding guards your heart. So we'll talk about that peace of God in my next video. But for now, for today and tomorrow and the day after, just know that God is saying be anxious for nothing, because worry won't do you no good. If you worry, what has that worry done for you? What can worry do for you? Instead, just make your request known to the Father of Heaven by communicating the issue with him, and his peace will guard your heart. I'll see you again in my next video. Bye. Follow me for more.